Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are back to work on the Camaro SS1LE, and this car is super close to the first test drive. We might even be able to get the first test drive in today. But guys, basically what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be trying to get that check engine light off, which has to deal with a solenoid 7 issue in the transmission, which I will explain in just a minute. And then we are also going to fix our water pump issue. That's right guys, the water pump has showed up and it's ready to be put in the car. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that contraption is. Alright guys, so basically this is something that I just made. So this is to fill the transmission with 3 more quarts of fluid, and this is exactly how I did it last time as well. I looked everywhere for a fill plug on this car. This car's transmission just doesn't have a fill plug. I even went to the dealership and I asked them if they have a fill plug on it, if they can pull up some diagrams. They couldn't find anything there either. And if you look right back there, you can see an overflow valve for the transmission fluid, and that is a direct connection to the transmission itself. So I read some forums and people at the track actually use that to fill some transmission fluid up, and I used that last time to do it as well, and the transmission fluid did make its way into the transmission. So that's where I'll be doing it from. The way I'm going to be doing it now is I'm going to have this suspended in the air so gravity can do its thing and get it all in there. So basically the setup is going to look something like this. Yeah, so this is the setup right here. I got a nice microfiber cloth so the engine cover doesn't get scratched up, 2 boxes, a jack stand, and I taped it right up here, and it will just run its way down into there. And if you guys saw a little bit earlier when I showed that piece, the hose is actually inside of the valve, not over it. Same over here, it's inside the funnel, and we have some tape in there to create a nice tight seal so it doesn't leak, as well as on the outside we have some tape. But basically that's the setup right there. Now before we go ahead and fill the transmission fluid, because last time it did take a few hours just because of how slow it is. The fluid runs its way down that thin hose, and then some of it works its way back up, and then it burps it out of the system. You know, it just bleeds the entire system. That does take a few hours. I think last time it took about 2 hours to do 5 quarts. So maybe hopefully now it takes about an hour, maybe an hour 30. Hopefully not too long. But now let's take a look at the new water pump. So right over here, we have a nice shiny brand new water pump. Looks amazing. And then this is another part of it that goes on the back of it. But unfortunately it did come damaged. If you look closely, you can see that connector is broken, but it's not to worry because that connector is interchangeable. I believe it's somewhere around this area. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and take apart all of this stuff in this area, get some good access to that water pump. And while I'm taking the water pump out, I'm going to be also filling this up. So as I'm working on the water pump, taking it out and putting the new one in, I'll keep filling that as I work on this. So everything is done at the same time and it doesn't take too long. So let's just go ahead, start the time lapse, get this water pump and this fluid knocked out. Alright, so this is what it's looking like so far. I have very good access to the water pump. All the screws and everything are right there. Taking off this big old hose for the intake and the hoses for the cooling system, just tucking them up away right there, definitely create a lot of room. And here's how the transmission fluid is doing right now. It's just going in there very slowly. This is my second time filling that up. We still have, there's still about a little over half a quart left. So yeah, it will take a little bit of a while, but at least it's working. We have no leaks coming out from anywhere. And now you can see that the fluid is starting to travel upwards, and as soon as it reaches the top, all those bubbles right there, they're gonna work their way out of the system. Just like that. And then you just fill up with more, and you just keep going with that process. It takes a while, but then eventually the transmission gets full. That is 1 quart down. Alright guys, we are fully done with everything. I went ahead and replaced the water pump. All 3 quarts of transmission fluid have been added to the system. So now let's just go ahead and take all this stuff off the car. Crank this thing up, see if that check engine light went away, and hopefully there's no leaks. Alright guys, so thankfully when I was working on the water pump, the transmission fluid took the same amount of time to go into the transmission. So we're all good to go, and we do have a little bit of sunlight left outside. Hopefully we could do the first test drive. I think that this car is ready to go. Let's go ahead and start it up. Hopefully that check engine light is off, and hopefully we don't have any leaks. Alright, I'm super nervous. Why do we still have a check engine light? Let's go ahead and take it outside. Maybe then it'll cut off. Let's let the car run for a bit. Hopefully there's no leaks. A lot of funky smells right now. Maybe a little bit of smoke too off the headers, because I did get a little bit of fluid on it. Yeah, I see some smoke right there. A lot of smoke. It's looking good. But gosh, man, does that smoke look scary? And the car sounds really good. Alright guys, so the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and knock out is these wires right here. They're all exposed. So I got some wiring harness tape, and I also got the cover for that harness connector right there. So let's go ahead, put these things on. Alright guys, so I went ahead, taped up those wires. Can't even tell which ones were taped up. Looks OEM as always. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start the car, let it run for a little bit, and then hopefully we can go for a test drive. Alright guys, just before it gets dark, I want to get a quick test drive in on this thing, because I just can't contain my excitement. I'm too excited. It's my brother getting in the car right now.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, he's going to be joining us today. Get your belt on.
Of course.
I was gonna use this mic to get better audio, but it's not getting, the audio is not coming through on the camera right now for some reason, and I don't want to miss this moment by using this. so I'm just gonna go on the standard mic. But
I love that.
I love it too, dude. It never gets old. Thank you.
Sounds really healthy right now.
I am so cold right now, but I gotta keep the windows down for this. Oh, dude, the cops just pulled someone over there.
Dude, it rides really nice. Just downshifted.
It seems really good. I just don't want that cop to pull me over right now.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have any headlights.
No, nothing.
And the car kind of looks, you know,
Unfinished.
in pieces. Gosh, is this thing fun? Oh my god.
Of course. Dude. Hold on.
Dude.
Why not? Dude. Holy.
Dude, what have we built?
That sounds crazy.
Dude, we're gonna get one victory pull in before we go home. Dude, everything is really good on the car.
Dude.
Dude, you hear the burbles?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, this thing's crazy.
Holy cow.
Funky smells. A little bit of funky smells. Alright. Well, coolant level is good. Everything looks good. No leaks. I'm pretty happy. Alright guys, well it is getting pretty late today. So I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Alright guys, so it is the next day here. And it is just getting colder by the day. Soon enough, we'll probably see some snow down here. But today what I'm going to do is we're going to put the tail to this car, scan it, see if that solenoid 7 problem is still in the system because the check engine light is still on. Alright, seems like everything cleared. So I'm just going to give the car a quick crank and hopefully it's all off. We are going to get a very cold start probably though. Because it's very cold this morning, but let's see. Check engine light is still on. Alright guys, well that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and if you like this Camaro build, be sure to go down below and hit that like button. And while you're at it, there's a shiny red subscribe button. But that's all for today's video guys. Thank you so much for watching. We made a lot of progress and not a lot of progress in some other ways. But that is all we're doing for today's video guys. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.